Boom, and we're live. It's AtlanticScrum and Pair Hookup, and we have John and Hugo and Craig and Ben and myself, Sam, in the house, or in the hangout, as I should force myself to say, I expect. So let's check in, maybe first with the regulars. John, how are things with you?
Good. Let's see, I paired with Yarrow yesterday, and Ben hung out and helped a bit also. Right on the Hookup Manager. So we
Great.
actually restarted kind of from scratch
hmm
and practiced pair programming TDD or
Awesome.
BDD TDD. So
hmm
yeah, it went well.
Great, great. Anything blocking you at the moment?
No, I'd like to pair up more after the meeting.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're immediately available for more pairing. On the same feature. Is that the plan?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay. I guess I'll just mention what I have been doing. Although I was sort of expecting more people from the local support team might have been around. Although they were all actually, I guess the local support team were all with me in the client meeting that I just had for the local support project. So anyway, yes, me. So since the last Scrum, yes, we had the local support client prep. We prepped the meeting. I put all of the meeting notes. I just accidentally deleted them. No, I'll just close the browser. Come back over here. You. Um, so yes, full meeting notes from the preparation and client meeting. In the preparation, we're able to review many of the refactorings that I did last night with Michelle and David Corking. I'm must say I'm definitely starting to lean towards having a lighter weight set of tests, but that's another story. But so yeah, this is the notes from the meeting. Various things done. We got approval from the client on the where's the little tracker gone? That's funny. Oh no, it's over here. What's going on? Let's go to the little trackers up here. Close. Here it is. Yes. So we actually, after a long while, the volunteer epic is deployed, and these are all the stories that were accepted by the client in the meeting now, and we demoed some new functionality to the client to allow the client to delete charities and to do various things with the admin views, and I've just deployed those to production and notified the client that they are set up. I guess none of are any of you here. I guess none of you here are particularly following or know so much about the local support project. Is that right? No.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So I guess I won't labor the issue. But so what we've just done is the thing we added is now this delete button to allow the client to delete the old organizations that are no longer operating in the area, and we've got undelete functionality on the back end, and we've also adjusted one of the admin views so that the tables can be sorted by different things, which is something they requested. So yeah, that was a successful meeting. A big chunk of things deployed. That's going to be the last face-to-face meeting for me with the client. For a little while, I'm going to be away. We arranged for David and
I have a
Michael.
question, Sam.
Go on, John.
Do you have plans to roll this out to other communities?
I certainly hope to.
Okay.
We've had some very from little discussions with other communities in the UK, other boroughs that might be interested in the same functionality. I think there's some talk of pilot with Ealing, London Borough of Ealing in September. But yeah, I mean the system we've customized it for specifically for this Harrow Community Network, but the local support software on the back end is could be used by anybody with relatively little effort. And it's this there's a directory of charities in the northwest London area. It now has this volunteer functionality, which I think makes it more attractive. Anyhow, yeah. So I guess in the absence of other people, that's so you guys can know what's going on in that project. I guess so. You guys obviously uh, you're saying you're working with Ben, John. So are you guys all been focusing on website one? Is that right? For
I mainly just observed yesterday.
Okay, sure, yeah, Ben and Craig and Hugo. Yeah, no problem. And of course, that's partly what this whole Agile Ventures thing is all about. Is really for just allowing people to observe the process. It's all about not just open source but open development. So we streamed the local support client meeting. That's Volunteer Action Harrow is our is our client. We streamed that live earlier on, and various people interested in that just sort of participated, were able to hear the real perspective from the customer. So I think there's we've generated the action items, but I guess there's not so much value in hitting particularly on these action items. I'll take them up with. Go on.
I have to confess, the only reason I've chose website 1 is because it was first on the list. It was, I haven't really gone through them all and looked.
No.
It was just somewhere to start.
Sure, and I think and that's absolutely fine. I think there's we've got at the moment website 1 and local support are the two busiest things. Website 1 is Rails 4, local support is Rails 3. And then there's Don't feel bad. I think website 1. I play less of a technical role. I'm the customer. I'm the allegedly non-technical customer. I try and not get involved in the code for website 1. I'm the project manager for auto-graders and local support, and so I kind of get my hands dirty with the code there, and I try and leave the code side of website 1 over to others. But I guess blocking me. I don't think there's anything critical blocking me now, and my plans, I guess, would be to try and review the MOOC and the auto graders. We'll see if Paul's around. I just need to get myself sorted out. But I'm available for another hour and a half, and I could be around preparing. But so let's check in with. The Hugo. What have you been working on? Is there anything blocking you? Anything we can help with?
Oh, I haven't had the chance of pairing with anyone, and it may be that my time zone just doesn't really work with other people.
Okay.
So I'm in -4 UTC, and that's like the Washington D.C. area.
Yeah, I'm the same time zone as you. I'm in Michigan.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, I think I was working with somebody that was pairing on the East Coast too, actually.
Yeah, we have a couple of. There's Marion and Michael, who are regulars, who are East Coast people. There's a few. Of course, ironically, for example, I'm in the same time zone as Brian, who is the website 1 project manager at the moment. But because we work different things, basically we're never online at the same time. So it's a combination of time. Sometimes the person who's the best match for you will actually be in a different time zone. They'll just have a different personal schedule. This is really we keep on trying different kinds of scheduling solutions and so on. So far, I think our best thing is we have the regular scrums, and then people see what they could work on. But so, Hugo, had you been looking already at you've been looking at website 1, or just?
Oh, I've quickly read the descriptions of most of the projects, and
sure.
Mostly as long as I can work after. What is it? After 6 local time, I'm basically available for an hour or two.
Oh, okay. So are you available in principle today? Forgive me for. If we're here, it's 3:15 or whatever. Yeah. So you're saying you'd be available in how many hours from now preparing?
God, let me see. Today, Today I would be available. Let's see.
8 hours.
Yeah, in 9 hours actually.
Okay. One of the things that's great to use actually, often if I'm in the scrums, because everybody's in different time zones, we often talk about when things happen in terms of number of hours from now, rather than using block time. But this world time buddy thing, I find is actually quite helpful in working out who's doing what when. So, right. So I guess for you, for John and Hugo, you're in just after 10 where you are, and so you were saying there. Right, so Hugo, right, so you're not immediately available for pairing, but you could be doing pairing later on this evening.
Yes.
I think, you might find in terms of, there'll be another scrum at I think 2 p.m. your time maybe. Anyway, you're in the Slack. We'll see if we can hook you up with somebody. Let's unless there's anything kind of blocking you other than finding a pair partner, which we'll keep on working on. Maybe I'll just move on to Craig and check in with Craig. Is there? Are you working on anything particular? Blocked on anything? Even if it's not related to open source. If you're blocked on I can't get Ruby to do this thing that I wanted to do and it won't do. You said these sessions are here for mutual support between developers and people kind of learning Ruby and Rails and anything. So if there's any technical issues that are blocking your happiness at the moment, then we're all ears.
I had a Scrum meeting this morning with Dave.
Right.
And we went through a few things. I've installed the virtual machine and ran the install script to get the web site 1 on a virtual machine.
Right.
And we've raised a couple of bugs on Git.
Oh yes, no, he mentioned them to me. Yes, he right. So you were with him in the Euro Asia Scrum. Yes, he told me about them. Yes, we flagged them up in the Euro Scrum. Yes, do go on. Sorry.
So he kindly guided me through that process, and then I talked about an event on an issue on Pivotal Tracker around the events index.
Yes.
And how difficult that would be to implement.
Right.
And he suggested quite pragmatically that maybe attacking the event show page so that it showed UTC on the dates, maybe an easier thing if I paired with someone just to get to grips with things before I sort of tried anything more complicated.
Indeed. I think Nick, who was in the Euro Scrum, was actually looking for someone to pair on that.
Just froze up.
Yeah, has started a little bit on that. I don't know if he's used up his available pairing time today, but if you, we might just mention that here. I could go in and say, if we look for Nick, so probably you've all seen how you can start typing people's names in Slack like this, and I can say Nick, and if we look for Craig as well. Now, Craig, are you in Slack?
No, I'm afraid I'm not yet.
Okay, so that's one of the, let's make sure that you're hooked up with that. Could you possibly type your preferred email address into the group chat, and I'll make sure that you're hooked up with the Slack. And that's one of the two strategies really. One is attending the scrums, but then the second one is using the Slack chat to find each other. So let's get you in there. Good show.
Yeah, and this Hookups Manager features, its intent is to be a clearinghouse for people to see who's who wants to do scrums, and so you can join them, or not scrums.
Who wants to do pair programming sessions and to join them, and I think hopefully also to show which of the live pairing sessions going on. That's what we really want as well. But so many things we want. I mean, so I'm very grateful to John for coming in and having a lot of enthusiasm for improving the interface there. Sorry, go on, John.
Oh yeah, and this time issue of showing things in local time versus UTC is something I'm going to have to address with this also. Yeah,
I think it's it's definitely to be addressed there. So so Craig, I've sent you an invite for that should come into that email address. We'll get you in there, and I'll make sure that you get hooked up with Nick there. Although I don't know if he's going to have any more time available today. It sounds like John's going to be free to pair now. So if you're, John Engelbert here would be definitely the person to talk to on the website one side there. I'm just checking with Ben. You're saying you're just observing. Any anything that you're stuck on? As I say, it could be related to open source, could just be anything related to the 1692 course or technical issues, or any questions that you have about the scrums and things.
I'm not stuck on anything that I'm working on right now. You said you're looking for somebody to work on the auto graders.
Yeah, I'll probably be. I guess what often happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays is I will be working, on the autograders. So yeah, if you were interested in the autograders, we could start having a look at that together after this scrum, if you were interested. But, depending on when you were free. Are you free?
I'm free.
Sorry, say again.
I'm free.
Oh, cool. Right. Great. Okay. Cool. And David Ars has just joined us. Hi, David. Welcome to the Scrum. We're just sort of wrapping up. David Arias, great to have you with us. If you're from the 1692 course, do post your email into the group chat, and I can make sure you've got access to the Slack chat. But so I think that's about covers it for the Scrum. So it sounds like maybe John and Craig might be able to run a quick website one session now. Does that sound about right, John and Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, good show. And maybe Ben and I can do an autograders one. And Hugo, yeah, I think the thing to do is keep attending scrums and monitoring Slack.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll get you hooked up as soon as we can. I mean, this is the kind of thing a lot of people talk about. Oh, yeah, if we had we have had systems in the past where people would say, oh, yes, I'm going to be available at this point, so and so in the future, and try to meet. The problem with a kind of scheduling system is often when one person says they're going to be available, then life happens and then they become unavailable and so on and so forth. So I think the trick will be to look as close to the time as possible. But yeah, okay. Well, unless there's any other critical business for the group, I'll probably stop the broadcast and we'll get on to the separate pairing sessions.
Okay.
Can someone enlighten me how that works? What happens next?
Yeah, sure. Yes, well, I'll pop it on the broadcast. So what will happen next is that the people who are running pairing sessions will usually start new Hangouts. Those Hangouts will usually get advertised in the Slack environment that I've now lost. Where's it gone? Over here. That's also it's sort of Slack is a chat client system like IRC, although there's a company behind it. Did you see the invitation come in, Craig, in your?
Yes.
Yes. So if you click through on that, and we'll make just before we go offline, we'll just make sure that you've got access there. But John, do you want to maybe create a Hangout link for the website one? And
yeah, in about 5 minutes. I'll do it.
Okay, you're going to go in about 5 minutes. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll what we can do. Yeah, well, I'll stop the broadcast there, and we'll just make sure that Craig's got access to the chat environment. And
I'll start it immediately. Actually, then I'll just join it in a few minutes.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, if you start it up, we'll have the link and make sure that Craig can get in there. Sounds good. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to sign out now.